in chapter 16, verses 6 to 8. One of the main characteristics that helps any one of us to learn is the ability to question. Skepticism is key for deeper understanding of anything that we are trying to learn. You ask a question, somebody says something to you, a teacher gives a lecture. If you have the ability to ask the question right away, if the teacher allows that, ask then when you have a doubt. If not, after the lecture, ask in private or go check the books. But have questions. If we just take the message on its face value, the learning is not deeper. That's my philosophy. So, my interest in the Bhagavad Gita actually started from serious doubt, profound skepticism, and a certain amount of underlying anger. The anger stemmed from the fact that some of my cousins and some friends took the path that is slightly different from well accepted social norms within our family to learn the philosophy in our religion. Since it's a different path, the distance that created between us made us angry. That's because of our ego. The anger was not towards our cousins, of course, we love them. It is towards the sect that pulled them into that path or indoctrinated them, some would call it. So that anger was there. I just want to add also that those who took that path are very happy and well settled, and they are leading a very fulfilling life. It's just our ego that keeps our anger. So with that anger and the skepticism about religion, when I had the opportunity to listen to a scholar speak about the Bhagavad Gita, I took it. The lecture was about 2 hours, filled with anecdotes. But I came away with no message about the Bhagavad Gita that was satisfying to me. And that is the day I said, I am still skeptical and I'm still angry. What is this book? What is it saying? I want to know. And I didn't get that from this gentleman scholar. However, in my library, I had 3 copies, 3 different translations of the Bhagavad Gita. Not 3 copies, but 3 different translations of the Bhagavad Gita. I looked through all of them and I picked one and I said, I'm going to go through each verse one at a time and I'm going to express it outwardly in writing so I can read it back and see what I'm gaining out of it. Is my skepticism dissipating from that process? That was my experiment. Obviously, I found a lot of my skepticism vanish, evaporate, because I find the Bhagavad Gita to be very scientific. and it has profound messages. Because I am questioning every time I read, even though I have a slight understanding and acceptance of the message, I ask a deeper question. So I have a deeper understanding of it. And that process has led me to actually get a lot of benefits out of this book. There are many other philosophical scriptures that exist, but I'm getting the best of this. Why am I saying that? In the next 3 verses, Gita itself is saying, just don't accept messages that are superficial without questioning them. And so Krishna starts by saying, okay, there are characteristics of angels and demons that I described to you, but a few more about the demons. They have a problem judging when to act, when not to act. So that's an underlying characteristic of someone with demonic brain. They take the wrong action all the time, and that makes them angry, that makes them egotistical, that makes them narcissistic. Now that they have taken an action, that action has to be the best action. So they take more bad actions and spiral down. Because their thoughts are not pure, they are not truthful, and they are not well disciplined. All these things are said in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, verse 7. So I'm not preaching, please pardon me if it sounds like that, but it's the message there. And it goes on to say in verse 8 that these people have, the whole world is unfair and filled with injustice. So they despair. And they believe anything anyone says. For instance, they believe this whole humanity is a product of sin, which came out of lust between man and woman. It's sort of Adam and Eve story. Adam and Eve were walking around in the Garden of Eden, happily innocent, enjoying the beauty, and all of a sudden that Satan, in the form of a serpent, came up with this apple that he tempted Eve with. And even though Adam insisted, don't take a bite, she did. And that led to humanity, and therefore we are all brought out of sin. Oh, that's the faith. That's the belief. In some faiths, question that too. We don't have to judge whether it's right or wrong. That's one of the beliefs. So, such messages, these people with characteristics of a demon accept without questioning, is what the Bhagavad Gita says, and that's my take on the verses 6 to 8.